Conference basics. Okay, this is very exciting. I have been to over 100 professional conferences in my life that I've shown up at a booth and got ready to come in and get leads and make business happen. This is one of my favorite things in the world. Mostly because if you've ever been to a conference with me, you know that, I'm pretty intense when I do that. It's gone so far that a conference organizer, is actually FutureCon, had me on their podcast on how to do a conference correctly. So I'm going to start out with a story on how to do this best, and I'm going to give you 3 points. 1, what to do at the booth when you're getting leads. 2, how to follow up with them. And then 3, how to be able to make sure that you're tracking them well. So I'm at a conference. I looked at everybody that was speaking. I was waiting to talk to one person who was at that conference, and I'd been through the whole day. I kind of seen everybody, and I'm sitting there. I'm on my laptop while everyone that was attending was in session. This person walks up and just kind of walks by, and I just didn't get to see him. The person came back, and I realized they'd walked around to every other vendor, and I said, "Hey, how are you doing? I'm Tim." And I said, "Aren't you?" She said, "Yes, I am." And I said, "I've been waiting to meet you because you're the keynote speaker. I'd really love a chance to be able to show you what we're doing. Just, shameless plug, but was really excited just to meet you." And she said, "Oh, cool. No one else here stood up from their booth and talked to me. You're the only one." And I said, "Well, I've been waiting to meet you, and, hey, you're the reason why I'm here." And she was like, "Okay." And then she kind of walked off a little bit and then came back, and we just sat there and talked. I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. She ends up getting up and doing the keynote speech, and inside of the speech, I'm probably about 1/3 left of all the vendors that have their booths up in the room where she's speaking, because everyone else had broken down and really had started to leave, which is a whole nother diatribe. But she said on there, because they asked the question, what's the best way, the moderator said, what's the best way to be able to be a vendor at one of these conferences? And she literally said, "You need to do exactly what Tim Savage is doing." Tim recognized I was here. When I came to his booth, he jumped right into motion, was able to talk with me, didn't pressure me for anything, scanned my badge and said, "Hey, we'll get in contact with you," and off he went. That's exactly how you want to be a vendor. So it comes into these 3 points. 1, at the booth. This is a tough one for most people. Don't book the demo at the booth. Here's what happens. Most of these events, they don't give you the full list, right? So that means the list of everybody that's attended, you don't get it. You only get the list of the people you scan. As people are walking by, you gotta be quick. So they come up, they're like, "Hi, my name's Tim. We focus on XYZ ABC. Love to get you over, insert freemium model. I'll send it over to you guys, take a look at it, let me know what you think." Boom, scan, you got them. Now, if that person continues to talk and has interest and so forth, and let's say they go the whole way and they want to schedule a time and they're just not leaving, they want to schedule a time, absolutely schedule that time. 1 out of 50 is going to do that. 1 out of 30, right? So you go, okay, great, fantastic, and then you're able to say, "Hey, listen, I'm just going to back up my data, just take a quick picture of your lanyard and your badge, and I'll make sure to catch up with you." So if someone has qualified themselves, take a picture. All right? So now you got them. Here's the work. After the event, right after the event, not 3 days later, not next week, not take the day off after the event and go sightseeing because you're in a cool city. That night, when you get out of the event, even if you're going and flying out, you go sit down and you go through each one of them, add them on LinkedIn, send them a personal note, and then call them the next day. Ooh, that is some work. Work. It is work, but the point of it is so that you're able to put in the right work. You're able to be engaged inside of the process and be able to be the person who's able to do it. So the follow-up is inside of that, and being able to make sure you're doing that follow-up. The last thing is you have to make sure that it is attributed to the event inside of your CRM. Now, that's like, duh, of course. A lot of times it's not, okay? Just call a spade a spade. And if it's not, and then you come back and have to then report on these conferences and show how well they did, the data may not come back good or may not come back at all, and you can't understand where it is. That may be for Rev Ops, but also ultimately you're going to get asked a question. You, the salesperson, the sales leader. So within those things, I got a course on this. And I got a course in 2 ways. One, I'll do a 4-hour live training and I will dig into this stuff super deep with you. Or 2, I've got a course that's coming out, which is a digital training, and you can watch, and I kind of dig deeper into these pieces and talk about them for specific things to be able to do. But as you're at the conference, here's the thing to remember. The leads that you have after the conference are the value, right? You may book some demos there. You may show some demos there. They probably won't add up to much afterwards. Just because people are focused on other things while they're there. And if you walk out and you had gotten a bunch of demos booked, but every time you're talking to someone, you're booking that demo, because you're probably gonna go, Tim, I'm gonna book a demo. You watch, I'll show you. Let's go, right? I'm gonna go, okay, do you. And then you're gonna be sitting there and you're booking that demo and you're gonna see people walking by. And it is going to hit you in your stomach knowing that you're never gonna have a shot at them again. And they're there because they have been funded to go there, which means they probably have budget, which means you wanna talk to them, but you need the leads. And then your team needs the leads to follow up with. Your job is to get those leads, not to say I booked 3 demos and no one's gonna show up to. And this is not my first rodeo, so I kind of like to be funny about it, but I also like to go like this. I'm not having a conversation. I'm telling you exactly how this thing works. This is how the game works. This is how you win. And when you stack up all these events and you have all these lists of who you've scanned, it's beautiful. But you gotta get the lead scanned before you have the lead scanned. I hope this was helpful. I always feel when I give this one, I'm always like getting on you, but I am getting on you. Because if you're rolling to me at a conference, right? Which, by the way, if you're like, hey, I would love to see Tim Savage go lead a conference and get us there at a booth, you know, anything for a friend for a fee, right? Tim at netnew.solutions. Appreciate you. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.